Welcome to College Smart Radio, helping you bring into focus the true cost of college and how to tackle the runaway cost of financing a college education. College Smart Radio is hosted by Beatrice Schultz, a certified financial planner and founder of Westface College Planning. Now, here's your host for College Smart Radio, Beatrice Schultz.
Welcome to College Smart Radio. If you've ever filled out the FAFSA form, you can appreciate how complicated it can be. Millions of American parents have wrestled with this federal financial aid form, and many of them have made mistakes. Some of those errors had inadvertently cost lots of families financial aid that they were entitled to receive. On today's College Smart Radio program, we're going to review everything you need to know about the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, and to make sure you are not one of the millions who lose out on financial aid this year. Hi, I'm Beatrice Schultz. Welcome to our weekly show, College Smart Radio, where we help you tackle the runaway costs of a college education. Our show is about bringing up-to-date and practical advice to parents who are dealing with the cost of a college education for their kids. College is expensive and getting more so each year. With a private school costing up to $60,000, a UC costing close to $35,000, and a California State University running $25,000 per year, parents need more help than ever. We bring you that help by sharing ways to pay less, tapping into financial aid, and prioritizing your source of funds to make sure you get the most through the most expensive years of your life. Based on my own education and experience, I share my insights with you week in and week out. I hold a Bachelor of Science degree in Chemical Engineering and a Master's degree in International Business. I am a certified financial planner and the owner of the San Carlos-based college planning business, Westface College Planning. We host workshops on college planning and consult with parents on a daily basis. In addition to my insights, I bring in experts in many areas of the college process, from counselors, financial aid officers, college administrators, financial professionals, parents, and even students. You'll learn firsthand the ins and outs of how to pay for college and survive financially. In addition to our show, you can find lots of powerful information at our collegesmartradio.com website and at our westfacecollegeplanning.com websites. We have many articles that I've authored with up-to-date information on navigating the waters of paying for the runaway cost of college. We have a monthly e-newsletter full of content about college planning. We also have posted a glossary of key terms used in the world of college planning, terms like total cost of attendance, FAFSA, student assets, base year, and so forth. And we have a link to our free community parent workshops that we host to teach parents about how to pay for college and how the financial aid system really works. Let's get into today's show. On today's College Smart Radio program, we're going to review everything you need to know about the FAFSA. The FAFSA is the free application for federal student aid. Every student should recognize, every family should recognize, every parent should recognize the importance of the FAFSA in the college application process. Here's what I'm going to cover on today's show. What is the FAFSA? Why every single high school senior and college student should submit a FAFSA application every year, how and when to complete the FAFSA, and what is the EFC, or Expected Family Contribution, and what does it matter? The factors that determine your EFC, or the expected family contribution. Plus, I'll talk a little bit about some misconceptions about financial aid that I hear. And throughout the show, I'll point out the top mistakes that I see families make when preparing and completing the FAFSA. Unfortunately, many families do little in the way of preparation for college. And I'm not just talking about saving enough money for college. It is very rare for the large majority of families to have saved everything they need to cover the entire cost of attendance for all of their children. That's true. But what I'm referring to when I say that most families fail to prepare is that they suddenly find themselves on the doorstep of huge financial obligations as a result of college expenses, and because they didn't plan, they wind up making decisions on the fly. And those decisions made on the fly are not always the best ones. On my College Smart Radio shows, I provide you with insight prior to making decisions that could potentially save you time, effort, and ultimately hundreds and more likely thousands of dollars over the course of your college funding years. So on today's show, we're going to dissect the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid. First things first, the first word is free, and that's what's key. is free. Everybody should do it. Now remember, the website for the FAFSA is www.fafsa.ed.gov, and I have a link to that website on my collegesmartradio.com website under resources and links. Make sure you use the government FAFSA site. There is, of course, a FAFSA.com's website, but it's not free and it's not official. If the site asks you for money, that's a sure sign you're in the wrong place. Remember, the first F in FAFSA stands for free. So just a couple of facts about the FAFSA. It's produced by the U.S. Department of Education, and it is used to collect a family's personal and financial information and then uses it to calculate the family's EFC. EFC is an important acronym for Expected Family Contribution. If you missed some previous shows where we explain the EFC, check out the glossary terms on the collegesmartradio.com website. The FAFSA is a form designed solely for the purpose of determining a family's financial aid eligibility for higher education. It's available in 3 formats: a downloadable PDF, paper version which is available in English or Spanish, or an electronic version. There's been a concerted effort to ensure the vast majority of FAFSA forms are submitted electronically, and I really recommend this. Some of the key advantages to using the FAFSA on the web, or I should say electronically, are that there's built-in edits, so you're less likely to make errors. There's nice skip logic, which allows you to skip through unnecessary questions. It really allows for much more timely submissions of your original application and also to make corrections, and most families I talk to are making at least one correction or update of their FAFSA after they initially submit it, so that's a big deal. They also have a help button and detailed instructions, so it's pretty easy to go through the online system, and you have the ability to check your status online in real time at any time, and it's just a lot easier than having to call in or worry about your paper. Plus, it's a big bonus that you're going to want to submit your FAFSA every year, so there is a simplified renewal application process for subsequent years or when you have your second child and you've got 2 kids in college at the same time. Remember, though, that the FAFSA, it's a government form designed for the government to determine whether you qualify for any government student aid. And really, it's meant federal student aid, but it also qualifies you for state student aid. But most colleges, private and public, also require the FAFSA to decide if they will offer aid directly from the college in addition to government aid. And remember, the colleges have more money than the government, and that's where most of the money is going to come from for the students. So when you hear the title, a free application for federal student aid, families think, I'm not going to qualify. But the reality is, every college is going to ask you to complete this form. Now, some selective private colleges may request additional information to qualify for financial aid, including completing a CSS profile or a college-specific financial aid application. I'll delve into more of the details of the CSS profile at a later College Smart Radio show, but on this show, I'm really going to focus on the FAFSA. So every high school student and current college student should complete and submit a FAFSA for every year of college. Some families may be listening to me and thinking, there is no way that my family will get any money. And it may be true that your family will not qualify for any free money. But the FAFSA is also needed to qualify for any aid, which includes free money, but also includes self-help aid, such as student loans. If you want a student loan from the government, the most preferred student loans, then you need to submit the FAFSA. And some colleges expect the family to submit the FAFSA even if they only expect merit aid, not need-based aid. Basically, completing the FAFSA is your way of notifying the college that you're interested in any money in that pool that may be available to you. And remember, the Stafford Direct Unsubsidized Loan, which for freshman students is $5,500, is a government loan, but you only qualify for government student loans by submitting the FAFSA. Okay, so everyone's on board that we should complete the FAFSA. When should you be submitting the FAFSA? Well, every year on January 1st, a new FAFSA is available for every student applying for college. It's used by community colleges, every public four-year college, and every private college across the U.S. So the FAFSA is available to be completed on January 1st of the year that your student will be attending college. It's a full 9 months before college starts in September. So if you've got a senior, January 1st in the middle of their senior year is when you're going to be filling in the FAFSA. And the income information for that FAFSA is going to be based on the year halfway through your junior year through halfway through your senior year, or right now it'd be the year 2012. You're going to want to pay attention to the details because there are federal and state deadlines for when you need the FAFSA and your colleges want to have the information, but those deadlines are going to be different for every college. I really recommend that you just plan to submit that FAFSA in January, and then you're going to make sure that you have it done on time. You're with me on College Smart Radio talking about the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid. We all know that college can be expensive and will most likely be some of the most costly years for a family. Understanding how to navigate the college costs to save everywhere you can is a smart thing to know. To help families beyond this radio show, I host community workshops around the Bay Area several times a month that explain the cost of various colleges, how the financial aid system works, and things to consider to prepare yourself for this tremendous expense. You can find my workshop schedule at collegesmartradio.com. I'll be right back on College Smart Radio.
For more information on today's topic, visit collegesmartradio.com or call area code 650-587-1559. College Smart Radio continues in moments on AM 1220 KDOW. Contact Beatrice Schultz at collegesmartradio.com or call area code 650-587-1559. Now, back to College Smart Radio with your host Beatrice Schultz on AM 1220 KDOW.
Welcome back to College Smart Radio, where we help you tackle the runaway costs of college. I'm Beatrice Schultz. Our topic for today's show is the FAFSA, and I was just talking about when you should be completing the FAFSA. The FAFSA is available January 1st of each year, and families should be thinking about completing it in January. The first deadlines for the FAFSA typically are around February 1st. One big error families make, I see it all the time, is that they think they should wait until after they file their taxes to apply for financial aid. If you're completing your FAFSA prior to completing your tax return, which you should, just understand you're making estimates. You will need to return to the site and update your FAFSA once you've completed your tax return, which is perfectly acceptable. It's better to estimate and file early than to wait until you've completed your tax return to file. By the time you have your taxes done, some or all of the preferred financial aid that you might have gotten could have already been allocated to someone else. So let's start with a couple of FAFSA quick facts. Over 10 million FAFSAs were filed in 2012. That's a ton. So there are a lot of people out there trying to get some access to some financial aid. Hundreds of thousands of those, actually probably over 1 million of those, are probably coming out of California. There is an audit requirement for FAFSAs, perhaps not as invasive as an IRS audit, but at a more frequent rate. In fact, 30% of FAFSAs submitted are required to be verified. So what does verification mean? That means that they may ask to see a copy of your tax return. They may need verifications of your assets. So this is not a time to be creative. You will want to provide accurate, verifiable information on your FAFSA. And unfortunately, the Department of Education estimates that approximately 70% of FAFSAs contain some element of error. I also see this with families whose FAFSAs I review with them. It's a government document, so it's very easy to be confused and enter incorrect or incomplete information. Or duplicate information. It's easy. I often see where people will put the assets down in two different places. One is an investment and one is a 401k, for example. Take your time completing it and then save and review it with an expert like myself. The formula used for the FAFSA is this. First, the Department of Education in every college documents a cost of attendance, or COA, for approximately 4,000 colleges and universities. That cost of attendance includes tuition, room and board, books and fees, transportation, and miscellaneous expenses. Next, by virtue of only 7 factors, those 7 factors are the size of the family, the age of the parents, number of students going to college simultaneously, income and assets of parents and students, the FAFSA then calculates or determines the EFC, the expected family contribution, or the amount of money a family can presumably afford on an annual basis to pay for college. The difference between the two is called need and determines the maximum amount of need-based financial aid a family may qualify to receive, which determines the amount of contribution you're going to be expected to pay each year. Unfortunately,